Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm Motorsport Madman and this is the 2023 Belgian Grand Prix. Well, that's music started over again. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. I'm on a little bit earlier today because I missed everything so far this weekend, unfortunately, due to being at work. So I want to go through a little bit of that before we get into the race. Because, yeah, we had Friday qualifying this weekend, which we'll go through the results of that in a minute and what will set the grid for the race today. But obviously, sprint race weekends, there's been loads of stuff happening that unfortunately I've not been able to do live streams for. So we'll just do a bit of a catch up before we get into the race. Yes, Anto, welcome in, mate. Welcome to the stream, bro. Hopefully the microphone's working because I've just spent a good chunk of time wondering what the hell is going on with the audio. Nothing was working, but yeah, hopefully it's all right. And yeah, we'll get into it soon. So we'll start off just doing a little preview of, well, not a preview, just a rundown of what happened. So we had qualifying Friday afternoon. We had the sprint shootout, which is basically qualifying for the sprint race on Saturday morning. And then the sprint race yesterday afternoon. I would have loved to have done the sprint race because it looked pretty interesting, pretty exciting. Sprint that I missed, gutted, but we're here for the main event anyway. Sleeping tablets are ready for when Max takes the lead. Yeah, I reckon he'd be in the lead by about lap 10, I reckon. Obviously starts 6th, so at least he'll have something to do today. He'll have something to do. He's got to overtake 5 cars. 44 lap race in Belgium, so what do you reckon? Max takes the lead by, I reckon, about lap 10, something like that. Yeah, so at least it'll be an exciting first couple of laps, and then we'll get the naps in later on this afternoon. But yeah, so qualifying on Friday afternoon, gutted I missed it, but sort of went a little bit like this. We'll do a little bit of a rundown. So if you don't know how a sprint weekend works, Friday is linked with the race on Sunday, and Saturday is a day all on its own. So they set the grid for today's race on Friday afternoon, and in that qualifying, it started damp. We had Norris damage his floor in Q1, went wide in the first part of qualifying. Oh yeah, there's no chance Lewis wins this. Max will win by 30 seconds. But yeah, so in Q1, Norris went wide, damaged his floor, and that's relevant for the starting position. He's got out qualified by Piastri, who's looking really good this weekend. Probably Piastri the biggest threat to Verstappen, especially yesterday. He had a good go, but yeah, so Norris damaged his floor in Q1. We had Ocon hitting the wall in Q2, so he got away with it somehow, and but still only 15th for Ocon on a weekend where Alpine have cut out a big chunk of the management. Big change up at Alpine this weekend. And then Verstappen nearly got knocked out in Q2, so Verstappen only just scraped through to the final part of qualifying on Friday afternoon. Gasly and Magnussen kind of bottled it a little bit and let Verstappen into Q3 by the skin of his teeth. And then from there, obviously, he put it on pole position because it's Max Verstappen season. But with a big capital B-U-T, they've had to use an extra gearbox of Red Bull in Verstappen's car. That seems to be about the only issue that Red Bull have suffered this year, especially in Max's car, is some downshift issues. So anyway, bottom line is they've had to use an extra gearbox, which they're not allowed to use, and hence taking a 5-place grid penalty. So the grid for this afternoon's Belgian Grand Prix with the Verstappen grid penalty is like this. It will be Charles Leclerc from pole position. So we've got Ferrari on pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix. In behind him, Sergio Perez will line up P2 on the front row. could really do with winning it today. Perez get his season back on track after a disaster yesterday, which we'll get into in a minute. So yeah, front row of Leclerc, Perez. Just behind that, we've got Hamilton and Sainz. So Hamilton will line up on the grid P3, Sainz in the Ferrari P4. Then we've got the young superstar Oscar Piastri coming really good the last 2-3 races. Oscar Piastri is really, with the McLaren upgrade, is really, I feel like, not only with the upgrade, but I feel like he's taken a big step forward anyway, in terms of his performance against Norris as well. He looks the match of Norris. So yeah, we've got Piastri starting 5th. Then Verstappen with the grid penalty slots in between the two McLaren. So Verstappen will start from P6. Norris 7th. Russell will start 8th. Alonso 9th. So Aston Martin again is started to drop off for them. They started off the season so well, but they'll start this race 9th and 10th. Then we've got Tsunoda, Gasly, Magnussen, Bottas, Ocon, Albon, Zhou, Sargent, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg. So that's the grid for the race today. Now, let's get on to what happened yesterday, because it was a very interesting day yesterday, and I'm gutted that I missed it. I wasn't able to stream it. So there was 2 sessions yesterday. There was the sprint shootout, which is basically qualifying for the sprint race, and the sprint race itself. So they set the grid on Saturday morning and they did the race on Saturday afternoon. So for sprint qualifying, it was damp again. In fact, that's been a running theme apart from today. Today looks dry and sunny, but all through the weekend it's been seemingly like damp. Starts off a session damp, and then it's who's going to be the first one onto slicks. And it didn't work out for Lance Stroll in sprint qualifying. He crashed out. He was the only man on slicks in the second part of qualifying yesterday, and crashed into the wall at, I think they actually call that corner No Name, which is just a bit weird. But yeah, Lance Stroll crashed out of quali yesterday, and the only other thing that happened really was Russell held up Hamilton as well, badly. Not a very good team player from Russell, locking up in the first corner, and then so he's hampered him at his own lap by making a mistake, and then held up Lewis all the way up Eau Rouge, all the Kemmel Straight, and just so basically Russell just messed him up completely yesterday. So, but the good thing about sprint qualifying yesterday was that the top 3 were covered by 25 thousandths of a second, so it was really competitive. But who got pole position? It was Max. Of course it was Max. This is the Max season. But it was extremely close with the front 3. Verstappen, Piastri and Sainz covered by 25 thousandths of a second for the yesterday's grid. Then we had the sprint race yesterday afternoon, an eventful sprint race with a few little controversies. Yes, Daily Chelsea, yes. Where can I get commentary from his streams? Right here. Would have been a master stroke if Stroll paid him off. Piastri showing his talent and potential. Yeah, Piastri's looking good, man. But yeah, in the sprint race yesterday, they had it started damp. Everyone on the extreme wets. As soon as they got to the end of lap 1, half the grid pitted for intermediates straight away. Verstappen stayed out on the full wets for one more lap, and that gave Piastri the lead. Obviously, Piastri pitting straight away, as half the grid did for the Inters, and it briefly gave Oscar Piastri, the lead of the sprint race yesterday. Then we had Alonso spin out and crash, and so that caused a safety car, back the field up, and upon the safety car restart, upon the restart of the race, Verstappen got the lead back off Piastri. But a glimmer of hope. People are starting to catch up a little bit. Maybe for next year. But at least someone else led a couple of laps. Well, not even a couple of laps, I don't know. But at least someone else took a lead of a race in 2023. So yeah, big ups to Piastri. Hell of a job yesterday. Ended up finishing second in the sprint. But the big sort of talking point from the sprint yesterday was the collision between Hamilton and Perez. Now, to my eyes, that is just a racing incident, but the FIA saw it differently, and Hamilton got a 5-second grid penalty. Sorry, not a grid penalty, a 5-second time penalty for the collision with Perez. Obviously, damaged Perez's car, but they're going side by side. It's just a racing incident. And the Mercedes haven't protested it. So Lewis, I think in the sprint, Lewis got demoted from about 4th to 7th or something like that in the sprint. But yeah, he wasn't going to protest that for the sake of a couple of points. So that's what we missed basically. Piastri briefly leading, Perez and Hamilton come together yesterday, and an exciting 11-lap sprint, which I'm gutted that I wasn't able to do the stream for. But yeah, we're about half an hour away or so from the start of the Belgian Grand Prix. Please do drop me a like if you are new to the stream, and subscribe if you're into Formula One. I'm live for every single Grand Prix from the Formula One World Championship, and this is the last one before summer break. So if there's any breaking news over summer break and I'm not at work, I'll do a stream for that. Other than that, I'll be back in about a month for I think it's Zandvoort after the summer break, and then Monza, Singapore, and then we're getting to the last third of the season. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be an interesting. I feel it's going to be an interesting first half of the race. Let's see how quickly Verstappen progresses from his 6th. Obviously, Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, top 3 at the beginning. I feel like Perez got a big chance to win, has to win this surely. But yeah, on the other hand, it's just a matter of time, innit? It's a matter of time. How long will it be? I mean, this time last year, when Red Bull weren't even as dominant as they are now, Verstappen started 14th, and I think by lap 20, lap 22, something like that, he was in the lead, and he started 14th, and that car wasn't as dominant as it is this year. So, mate, I reckon by lap 10, it's done. It's done, and we can have a kip for the second half of the race. So get in. What a season. Right, let's switch out. Let's see what they're saying on the grid. I'd love to have seen. It's a shame to me. Wait, I need the. It's a shame to me that Piastri is not that far forward for this. Actually, I would have loved to see Piastri start this race on the front row. I feel like he really would have given Max a run for his money. I don't know if Perez will move out of the way. Leclerc, I don't know if Ferrari are going to really have the race pace. Red Bull win all remaining races. I don't think they will. I hope not. But I think for Verstappen to be beaten in any of the remaining 10 races or so we've got left this season will take either someone crashing into him or reliability issue. I feel like if everything goes smooth for Max, he wins every single race from now to the end of the season, and it will be a record-breaking, whatever you want to call it, invincible season. I would say that Red Bull will win every race, yes. And I think Verstappen will win every single race between now and the end of the season. If he doesn't, if he gets beaten fair and square, I'll be surprised. Like someone like Perez beats him because he's quicker, or McLaren are suddenly really competitive and they beat Verstappen on pace. Nah, I don't see it. I feel like the only way that Max doesn't win every single race between now and Christmas is if there is reliability issues, or I don't know, they don't, or a pit stop issue where they don't put the wheel on right, or some kind of problem basically. Other than that, yeah, it's juggernaut settings, it's unstoppable settings, it's Michael Schumacher 2002, it's it's Lewis Hamilton 2014. It's unstoppable settings. Think Sebastian Vettel second half of 2013 season won every single race. This will go down in history as the most dominant car in Formula One history and the most dominant season by a driver in history. Verstappen could come out of this season winning 19 out of 21 races, and I think he will. I think he'll come out this season with 19 out of 21 wins. He'll win the championship by 250 points, something like that, and he'll win the championship with 7 races to go, something like that. So we're gonna have 6 or 7 races at the end of the season for P2 in the championship, but that's what we've known since the first half of the season. He has to DNF. I don't think he will. The car's bulletproof. At this point, should just give Max the trophy and let it on early summer. Yeah, Max could go away, miss the next 6 or 7 races, and come back for the last 2 at the end, and still win the championship fairly comfortably. So yeah, I back that. Yeah, Max to go and have a break for 3 months. I back it. Yeah, Verstappen. So SHT, yeah, welcome into the stream, mate. You got Verstappen, Perez, Sainz. And Chris has got Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton. Oh, of course, Max will still win from P6. Max would still win if they gave everyone a half a lap head start, and he started from the pit lane a half a lap behind. He'd still win comfortably. He'd still be in the lead by lap 25. It's just one of them. Unstoppable driller. So cool. Yeah. So from 6th, easy. Too easy. It's like playing F1 game on beginner when you're an absolute pro. It's like playing. Have you ever played FIFA career mode on like amateur when you're actually good at FIFA and you're just dicking everyone 64-0? It's like that. He's playing career mode on easy, mate. Like being sick at the F1 game and just putting everyone on amateur settings, 0% speed. You're just lapping everyone. It's genuinely. I said this on Twitter the other week, and this is legit. Max Verstappen has got more competition when he does his sim racing than he has in real life, than he has in Formula One, without a doubt. Max Verstappen has not struggles, but the competition is so much harder for it. The competition is so much. I don't know how to describe it, but he's got serious competition in sim racing. This is easy game for him. This is easy. The IRL stuff, Formula One, mate, he has a lot more competition in sim racing than he does winning a Formula One World Championship, which is a bit mad. Saw him lose his rag a few weeks ago when someone pointed him off in the sim racing, and he just absolutely lost it. Because he's got it too easy in real life, so when he's got actual competition on a video game, he can't handle it. Nah, he can handle it. He's a beast. He's a beast on the sim as well. But he's got more competition there. Max just needs to win here in Zandvoort to tie Seb's record of consecutive race wins. Yeah, would that be the end of 2013? Which was what? 9, what did he win? 9 or 10 in a row? Career mode on easy, without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt, he's on easy settings. Which is mad, you know, but we battle through, don't we? We battle through, and hopefully next season is a lot more competitive than this season. Because if 2024 is like 2023, mm, we'll be doing IndyCar watch-alongs. We can't have back-to-back seasons like this. If 24 is like 23, and Red Bull have got a second on the pack, or let's say Verstappen's got a second on the pack. Because this is the thing, you can't just say, "Oh well, it's completely the car," because Max will slap everyone by 8 tenths, and Perez included. So wait a minute, it's not like you've got Verstappen and Perez 1-2 every race in a way where, you know, Verstappen's on pole and Perez is only 2 tenths behind, and then everyone else is second behind that. Well, it's a dominant car. Nah, Max is out there on his own. He's in his own category. And then Perez is with everyone else. You know what I mean? Perez is in the pack. Perez is fighting Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc every week. Every week, Perez is battling Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Norris, Piastri. Every week. Meanwhile, Verstappen's 35 seconds up the road, getting the TV mag out, getting a TV magazine out, going, what film am I watching tonight? Chilling. Big chilling. Honestly, this will go down as the most dominant season ever. And in a way, there's a little part of me that goes, well, there's a little part of me that goes, in a way, we're witnessing history. And in a way, the season will be looked back on, not because, oh, the great racing and what a championship battle. No, obviously not. But it'd be looked back on a season where the stats won't be beaten. A season where in 20 years' time, someone will have a dominant season and they'll go, oh, it was a great season, but it was nothing like Verstappen's 2023 season. You know, 2023 will be remembered in a way that there'll be records that will never be beaten. You know, there'll be records here that Verstappen will do this year that will stand forever. He'll probably win 16 races in a row. All the rest of it, you know, 10 Grand Slams in a row, whatever you want. Whatever you want. There'll be records that'll be broken this season that'll never be broken. So in that respect, in a little sort of every cloud has a silver lining, we are witnessing history in a way. I mean, I wish it was like in a different way. I wish it was 5 drivers up for the championship and anybody's game, and you know, I wish it'd go down history. But at least there's that, you know. At least this season will be looked back on and in a way that this was the most dominant car ever built, the Red Bull RB19, and this was the most dominant season a driver ever had. So, you know, that's what you want. Fill your boots. And so you ban that spam thing. You've got the powers if you're here. Because they're just going to be, I feel like they're just going to be spamming that forever. If not, I'll have to log in and chuck it out. Yeah, like Max could drive, but I have to hear Dutch anthem one more time. Just going to move to motocross. You and me both. Nah, motocross dead now. Think about IndyCar. I feel like IndyCar is decent, but I just don't know enough about it to sit here and do a watch along on IndyCar, having not a lot of knowledge about it. Is a bit of a dickhead move, so I wouldn't do that. But yeah, a lot more competitive than this. in terms of battling for the championship. I mean, you take Max out of the equation, great season. You work the championship points out if Max didn't exist, and everyone that finished second won the race, and everyone got promoted up a position, and Max didn't exist. You've got one of the best seasons ever. But Max does exist, and he's making it. It's a one-man thing. Done. Cheers, Anto. Cheers, mate. But yeah, race starts in a little under 20 minutes. So yeah, that's updated now, the timing screen. So that's the grid for the race. So it should be interesting. Let's see. I mean, there is a potential for something to happen to Max there from P6. You know, you know what I mean. He's not got a clear run into turn one there, has he? He's going to be battling McLarens. And he'll be on the wrong side of the grid, so you'll have probably Leclerc on the outside. Yeah, so odd numbers will be starting on the outside, which is effectively on the racing line, and the even number grid spots will be on the inside next to the pit wall on the dirty side of the grid. So Verstappen be on the dirty side of the grid. He's got two McLarens on the clean side of the grid. Could Verstappen lose a position or two in the first lap? Potentially. Who will likely DNF for Ferrari? If we don't see a Ferrari on the podium, mate, Ferrari got to be on the podium here today, surely. P1, P4. It'd be interesting to see what Leclerc's. I feel like if I was to say how it's going to play out, I feel like Perez leads early on. I feel like Perez will get the lead up the Kemmel straight on lap 1 into Lecombe for the first time. I feel like Perez will lead into Lecombe at the top of the hill on lap 1. And then it'll be a Hamilton versus Leclerc. The Hamilton versus the Ferraris might be interesting. And then on the back of that will be Max. Max will have already passed Piastri. He'll be right behind Sainz. And you'll end up having a sort of Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Verstappen battle for second, I feel like. They'll all be together. And Perez will, meanwhile, while they're battling, Perez will gap the field a little bit by 4 or 5 seconds, and then it'll take Max another 4 or 5 laps. Once Verstappen's cleared the 2 Ferraris and Hamilton, there'll then be a 5-second gap to Perez, of which he'll close down at half a second a lap, or however you want to cut it, however way you want to cut the cake. Verstappen will then hunt Perez down, and Verstappen will take the lead by lap 9. Lap 9. Ferrari aren't getting on the podium, maybe not. Russell makes a great start, another all in. Yeah. I back it. Another all in Max's side pod. That's the only way you're going to stop him winning every single race from now till Christmas. Is someone either putting hole in his car, hole in his tyre, or a mechanical DNF, engine blow up, gearbox blow up, hydraulic loss, whatever you want to. I feel that's the only way. So yeah, that's how I feel like it's going to play out. I feel like Perez is going to lead the first 10 laps of this. If Leclerc holds on to the lead or something happens, Lewis gets a rocket start. There's a scenario which sees Lewis lead. Lewis gets a great start. He's on the clean side of the grid behind Leclerc. Past Perez before turn 1. Gets in the slipstream behind Leclerc. Up Row Rouge they go. Up the Kemmel straight. Hamilton in the slipstream. The Ferrari goes down the inside. There's a scenario where Lewis leads into Leclerc on lap 1, but does he lead at the end of lap 44? Hey, 44 lap race, car number 44. What are we saying? Welcome in Zinc Mind. Welcome in the Straight King. Not sure where he can get from 12th. Who? Gasly. Gasly had a great race yesterday. Well, I say great race with the strategy working out for him. Pitting. Ended up P3. So Gasly got a podium, if you call it a podium in a sprint race. I don't really know if you call it a podium or what you call it, but yeah, Gasly. Yeah, Max has got 44 wins. Yeah. Screw all the strats. Yuki P1. I agree. Where's Yuki starting from? Yuki P11? Yeah, Yuki P1. Yeah, screw it all. Yeah, love it. Yeah, forget the rule book. Yuki P1. He looks like Elton John. National anthem performed by Antoine Dely. They've got Elton John out here, brev. Right. We're nearly there, aren't we? So, get in. Thoughts on Alpine getting rid of team principal? Oh, mate, absolute siege. Absolute capitulation down Alpine, innit? Absolute capitulation down Alpine. Otmar Safnauer are gone. Some of the other bosses as well. Yeah, things are collapsing at Alpine. But fair play to Pierre Gasly. Bring a bit of positivity into the team, getting the top 3 yesterday. Don't think I get a top 3 today, but they need Cyril back. Cyril beatable. Nah, they're getting Matteo Binotto, aren't they? Former Ferrari. Look at his cape. This guy's cape. He's on a Mazda. Mr. Belgium. Is that the red arrows? Is that the Belgian red arrows? I actually thought Alpine were good last few seasons. Yeah, they're a decent team, aren't they, really? They're just going through... The thing is, it's not so much that they're going through such a horrible spot. Like, yes, they are, but it's been exacerbated by the fact that McLaren have taken a big step forward. That's really hurt Alpine. The fact that you've got Aston Martin have taken a real step forward this season. Yeah, they've faded off a little bit now, but if you look at 2023 as a whole, like Aston Martin have taken a leap. McLaren have now taken a leap. Ferrari, Red Bull and Mercedes are already ahead of them anyway. And so now all of a sudden, Alpine have gone from finishing 4th in constructors thinking we're going to attack the top 3 this season to all of a sudden being 6th. So it's not like they've had a disaster. It's just that Aston Martin and McLaren have simply done a better job, and the teams that were ahead of them anyway have cleared off into the distance. And so now Alpine are struggling to get points, you know. They're picking up a P9 here and there. Yeah, yesterday was an exception, you know, with the tyre strategy thing, and it played out well for Gasly. Got an unlikely sort of podium, if you want to call it that. But yeah, so the Alpine just been leapfrogged, and management is not happy at all. And heads have rolled at Alpine. Was Binotto actually a good team principal? I don't think so. I think Ferrari should never have got rid of Arriva Bene. Maurizio Arriva Bene was legit, mate. He didn't take no BS from nobody. And they sacked him for finishing second. Mate, they ain't going to finish second this year, are they? No chance. So, yeah, Binotto, I don't know about Binotto. To me, it didn't look like... He just doesn't look like a very... you know, you've got to have authority, especially being the boss of Ferrari. You've got to be a hard-ass fucking... You've got to have that authority about you Fred Vasseur, yeah. But Mattia Binotto, nah. Like, look at how hard, like, Toto Wolff, yeah, doesn't take no crap, bro. Christian Horner doesn't. Like, a lot of people don't like Christian Horner, whatever it is, yeah. But he's done a phenomenal job for Red Bull. Like, doesn't take no crap, mate. Mattia Binotto, you look at him and you go, he just looks like a bit of a pushover. He can't be the boss of Ferrari. Anyway, they got rid of him, but Alpine might get him in it. I don't know. Binotto not good enough for top teams, exactly. Ferrari failed last season, yeah. Got to be Toto Wolff. What, best team principal? I'm a bit low down, aren't I? That a bit better, innit? Got the shiny face going on. That's a fucking, this light's a bit bright, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit better. It's a bit bright, wasn't it, that? Got the shiny face going on. Right, race is like less than 10 minutes away. He looks calm, you never see, but that's it, yeah. And like in one way that's to be admired, like, mysterious, calm, never loses his temper. But really, you want someone who's gonna fight your corner and be seen to be fighting your corner. Love Toto Wolff, Saudi Arabia, Saudi 21, smashing headphones. Do you mean Abu Dhabi 21? I was watching that yesterday. There's a video on YouTube where it's got they split it into 3, and they've got the actual race action in one corner, and they've got the live footage from the Red Bull pit wall in one corner, and the live footage from the Mercedes pit wall in the other corner. Last lap, Abu Dhabi 21. Oh, I don't care what anyone says. It's the best moment in the sports history. I don't care what anyone says. Last lap, Abu Dhabi 21 is the best moment in Formula One history. Without a doubt. I don't care. Controversial. It doesn't get any better than that. It just doesn't. And it will not get any better than that for as long as I watch it from now till I'm 6 feet under. It will not get any better than Abu Dhabi last lap 2021. I'll be forever chasing it. I'll be forever trying to get to that high again. It'll never happen again. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, bro, I can't believe that that's how it played out. Ah. Exactly. In my opinion, it's Nicholas Latifi's. It's on Nicholas Latifi's head, that. Yeah, Michael Massey saying he let some cars through, not all of them. Yeah, it's that was a bit of a dodgy one. But really, Nicholas Latifi lost Hamilton that championship. As soon as Latifi hits that wall, Verstappen's world champion. That's a fact. And that is what not a lot of people look at. That is what not a lot of people are ready to accept, that as soon as Latifi hits that wall, Verstappen's world champion. And people can't compute that because Michael Massey had a little bit of a tweak. Well, Michael Massey, tweak or not, mate, Latifi hitting that wall wins Verstappen the championship. Anyway. Go Tiffy, mate. Honestly. Back him. Williams all the way. Nah, listen. Yeah, honestly, Chris. I don't sit here and claim to have watched every single season. But I've seen a good chunk. It's certainly the best season I've ever seen. 2010 was good. 2012 was good. 2008 was good. I think 07 was pretty good as well. Though. Yeah, 8, 10 and 12 were pretty good, but they don't come close to 21. 21 was absolute 10-10. Absolute 10-10. Certainly the best season I've ever seen. It'll take a lot for that to be. Right, let's see. We're 5 minutes away from the start of the 2023 Belgian Grand Prix, guys. Please do drop me a like on the stream if you are enjoying it. We're about to get into full commentary mode. We've had a little bit of a chat, a little bit of a chill, a little bit of a pre-race build-up, a little bit of a waffle on, and a little bit of whatever the rest of it is. But now we're getting into the real thing. Let me just take this off the screen because it's not pre-race build-up anymore. Seedling tablets stocked up and ready. Get in there. Yeah, but not for the first few laps, though. First few laps going to be lit, mate. We got Verstappen coming through from P6. We've got Leclerc, Perez front row. Hamilton, Sainz, third and fourth. Piastri. Here we go. Buzzing for the first third of this race. Get in there. And then by lap 35. But lap 1, mate, full up for it, mate. 100%. Right, starting grid, here we go then. So, Hulkenberg will start from the pit lane with a new power unit. Danny Rick from P19, he got a lap time deleted in qualifying. We've got Logan Sargent line up P18 in the Williams. Zhou Guanyu, P17 in the Alfa Romeo. Kevin Magnussen in the Haas will start P15. Alexander Albon, who should have done better in that Williams, P15. Esteban Ocon, disaster for Alpine, P14. We have got Valtteri Bottas, P13. Pierre Gasly, P12. Yuki Tsunoda, just outside top 10, P11. Then we've got both Aston Martins, 10th and 9th. Stroll behind Alonso. Russell will line up P8 in the Mercedes. Lando Norris P7 in the McLaren. Then Max Verstappen, double world champion, reigning world champion, and dominating this season. We'll start P6, P5 for Oscar Piastri, young superstar coming through strong this season. Then we've got Carlos Sainz lining up P4 with Lewis Hamilton third, Sergio Perez lining up second, and Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari lines up on pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix. Let's go. 3 hours sleep. Chilling, Anto. Big ups. It's like these days we're excited for the first lap, then that's it. Exactly. Oh, Anto, can you ban that? Sorry, mate. I don't know how. I'm getting spam finding this channel. Why can't anybody else find this channel? If spam can find it. Oh, mate, I'm actually well up for it now. I'm fancying a bit of drama. I'm fancying a bit of early race drama here, you know. Low key. Ryan Tune. Mr. Tune. How are we doing, brother? Cheers, Zinc Mind. That's pushed us up 405. If I can get to 500 before the end of the season, buzzing. 95 subs in 5 months. Let's do it. I'll have to do stuff in between races, innit? News, breaking news. What else? Like pre-race, like race previews, analysis. I don't know. We'll think of something. We'll try and get 95 subs before the end of the season. Get to 500. We unlock a couple of doors then. We can start having memberships and stuff like that. We start to unlock a couple of doors at 500. It's the first like sort of big milestone, really. So yeah. Anyway, we're on the formation lap. What are we saying then? Has everyone got? Who's not got Verstappen to win? Nobody. I've got Verstappen to lead by the end of lap 9. I'm gonna say Perez leads the first 9 laps before being hunted down and passed by Max. I feel, but we'll see, innit? We'll see. Well, maybe Leclerc will get a mint start and hold on. They're going pretty quick on the formation lap, aren't they, by the way? Charles is really getting on with it on this formation lap. It's having to lead by lap 5. It's not out of the question, is it? It's not out of the question. Nothing's out of the question for Max this season. Yeah, not out of the question. Right, hopefully the live GPS and everything will work. Yeah, with a bit of luck, cross your fingers. We should see the live GPS fire up shortly. Previous wins, so Verstappen's won the last 2 Belgian Grand Prix. So Vettel won it in 18, Leclerc 19, Hamilton won it in 20, 21 Verstappen, 22 Verstappen. And so Verstappen looking for 3 Belgian Grand Prix wins in a row. I didn't realise that. I'm fancying some turn 1 drama here. Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, top 3. On the grid. I know, but it's the lesser of 2 evils. Because if it'd be up here, and I'd be like this. So yeah, I had to trim a bit, or else make it small like that or something. But yeah, it's kind of the lesser of 2 evils. To just trim a bit off. We just trimmed Stavilo off. It's fine, mate. It's fine. Right, here we go. Belgian Grand Prix, baby! The greatest track in the world. The greatest drivers in the world. The fastest cars in the world. 5 lights are on for the 2023 Belgian Grand Prix. Here we go then, we're underway in Belgium. And look how aggressive Perez is on the inside. Hamilton trying on the outside. And we've got Ferrari locking up, Sainz locked up. And the McLaren and Ferrari is surely going to come together in the inside of turn 1. But Piastri got seriously squeezed. And Verstappen's in the mix. We've got Verstappen round the outside of the McLarens. And one of the McLarens has got serious damage as they head to Eau Rouge. I think there's at least a puncture going on for one of the McLarens. Meanwhile, at the front, Perez and Leclerc go side by side for the lead. We're heading up to Lecombe, and Perez takes the lead at the Belgian Grand Prix. It's Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, and Verstappen already P4. Verstappen takes Sainz. And we've got a big problem for one of the McLarens. I don't know which one. Piastri with big damage. I think Piastri and Sainz came together in turn 1, without a doubt, squeezed massively. Verstappen then already up to 4th and looking at the back of Hamilton for P3. Perez leads from Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen, Sainz. And then the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso, Norris, Tsunoda, Stroll, Albon, top 10. Go on, Alex. Just cover your face. Here comes Verstappen then on the back of Hamilton as they come round Blanchimont for the first time into the bus stop chicane. They come then. It's Verstappen and Hamilton has to defend a little bit. Perez is gapping the field then 1.2 seconds. Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. Perez leads the pack and then a big battle for P2. What did I say? I've watched a few of these before. I know Wagwan, mate. I know Wagwan. Perez leads by 1.2 seconds at the end of lap 1. Then we've got Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen. Interestingly, we've got Alonso, Norris, Tsunoda and Stroll, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all on the medium tyres. The top 5 on the softs. And here comes Albon on Stroll. Go on, Alex. Alex up to P9. Tsunoda's 8th. Oh, and we've got one of the Alfa Romeos going wide there. Ocon passes Zhou for P13. Lap 2 out of 44. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, is Piastri out of the race? Oh, look at this Verstappen all over the back of Hamilton now as we head into Pouhon on lap 2. And Piastri's out of the Grand Prix. I think you joined on the first lap, Kim, just as the race was starting. You joined at the opportune moment, Kim. Chef's kiss, perfection. If you join and I'm giving it big shouting for first lap, you've cracked it. Mate, Sainz was... I don't even think Sainz knew that Piastri was down the inside. Here we go for a replay at the start then, on board with the Australian. Oscar Piastri into turn 1, then gets a great start. He's down the inside, nice and clean. Sainz locks a brake, then... Oh, no. Oh, no. It's just one of them, yeah. Sainz locks the brake. He's diving down the inside to avoid hitting the back of Hamilton because he's locked the brakes and doesn't realise that Oscar's down the inside. Piastri gets pushed against the pit wall on the apex of turn 1. Bang, suspension broke or whatever, puncture, whatever you want. Game over. Oh, it's a shame from Piastri that he's hit the pit wall on the right hand side. Sainz just pinched it too close. Sainz with the lock-up, avoiding hitting the back of Hamilton and has squeezed Piastri into the pit wall, basically. We've got a yellow flag, sector 1, and we have got a three-way fight for P2. Perez leads Leclerc by 2.1 seconds. Then we've got Leclerc, Hamilton and Verstappen nose to tail for P2. Then we've got a bit of a gap, 4.1 second gap to Sainz in 5th, followed by Alonso, Tsunoda, Norris. Tsunoda past Norris. Tsunoda up to 7th, Norris, Albon P9, and then Albon and Stroll P10. Russell outside the points in P11. Then we've got Ocon, Bottas, Sargent, Zhou, Gasly down in 16th. Then the two Haas 17th and 18th. Ricciardo last at the moment on P19. And Piastri, unfortunately, out of the race. Nah. Here comes Alonso on the back of Sainz for 5th. I think Sainz has got a bit of damage from the contact with Piastri in turn 1. And Alonso wants to take full advantage, try and round the outside into the chicane. Sainz defends it on the inside, but Alonso's going to get a nice switchback now. They come down to turn 1, La Source. Not the best exit for Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin, but he has got DRS. Yuki Tsunoda behind. Tsunoda's come up well. Tsunoda P7 ahead of Norris. Here we go for a look at how the top is played out. So Perez leads Leclerc by 2 seconds. Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen. We're on lap 4 of the Belgian Grand Prix. And Alonso goes down the inside of Sainz into Leclerc. And Alonso up to 5th. So Alonso with the Aston Martin up to 5th. Sainz drops to 6th then. We've got Tsunoda, Albon, Norris, Stroll, top 10. Replay of Hulkenberg round the outside of an Alpine. Wow, no, but has to cut the corner. An attempted overtake. Hulkenberg tries it round the outside of Pierre Gasly, but can't get the car slowed down. Has to cut across the Lecumbe chicane, rejoins the track. And there we see the damage on the side of Carlos Sainz's Ferrari. He's got a big hole in the side pod. Big hole in the side pod of the Ferrari Carlos Sainz. And that explains why he's off the pace as Fernando Alonso opens the gap then on Sainz, and is Sainz under big pressure from Tsunoda, Albon, and down the inside comes Lance Stroll on Lando Norris. I wonder if Lando Norris has got damage, but Norris has lost a few positions off the start, and Lance Stroll then up into P9. Pushes Norris down to 10th. And here comes George Russell. George Russell down the inside. I think Norris has got... It's a disaster for McLaren. We've got Piastri out of the race and Norris losing places at every corner. Top 10 now then is Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, Sainz, Tsunoda, Albon, Stroll and Russell now P10. As here comes Russell on Stroll. And Tsunoda goes for P6. And Stroll and Russell go side by side into Lecumbe. Stroll just about holds on to P9, battling George Russell. And Sainz with the damage is dropping back. Go on, Alex. Alexander Albon, next man up to overtake Carlos Sainz. So Tsunoda up into 6th. Perez leads Leclerc by 2.3 seconds. Interestingly, Verstappen hasn't cruised past Hamilton yet. Verstappen's stuck in P4 as of right now. And that's with DRS and everything. So, big ups. Not as easy as all that. Not as easy as what we thought for Max Verstappen at the moment. Although he is right behind the Mercedes. Within half a second of the gearbox of Lewis Hamilton. As we're on board with Alexander Albon out of Stavilo, and it's eyeing up Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Here they're going into Blanchimont. He's nearly on the grass. Into Blanchimont is Alexander Albon. Such is the aggressive. And here it goes down the inside then. Alexander Albon up into P7. Albon overtakes the Ferrari in the Williams. Let's go, Alex. Big ups, Alexander Albon. P7. Let's go. Oh, and Verstappen and Hamilton go wheel to wheel into Lecumbe. And Verstappen gets P3. Verstappen takes Hamilton for 3rd. So it's now Perez who leads Leclerc by 2 seconds. Verstappen up into 3rd from 6th on the grid. On lap 6 of 44. Perez is gapping the field a little bit, but here we go on board for a replay then. On board with Max Verstappen into Lecumbe. Oh, it's a good move up the inside. It's a good move up the inside of Lewis Hamilton there. Ooh, I feel like Lewis could have sent Max round the outside there. Didn't fancy it. As we see Stroll past Sainz. Sainz falling back with the damage from his turn 1 incident with Oscar Piastri. A disaster for McLaren. We've got one McLaren out of the race, the other in P17. Oh. Not a day to be a McLaren fan. As Russell now eyes up the back of that Ferrari. Round Blanchimont they come then, and you feel like Russell's got to send it up the inside here. Sainz tries to defend it a little bit, but George Russell then up into P9. And next up, and wow, people are starting to pit then. So Ocon and Bottas pit. Hülkenberg stays out. So the pit stops are starting to happen then. End of lap 6 of 44. Nice pit stop from the Alpine crew there. 2.4 seconds pit stop for Ocon. 3-second pit stop for Bottas. They come out of the pits out the back of the field. 34 in sub, and it helps a lot. Yeah. If you new, get yourself subscribed. We're trying to get to 500 before the end of the season. I need 95 subs, guys. Let's go. If you are new, I'm live for every single race. This is how we rock and roll. Lap 7 out of 44 in the 2023 Belgian Grand Prix. Perez leads by 2.7 seconds now over Leclerc, who's being hunted down by double world champion Max Verstappen. Hamilton P4, Alonso P5, Yuki Tsunoda up there in the AlphaTauri in P6, Alexander Albon P7 in the Williams. Stroll, Russell, Sainz round out the top 10, but Sainz dropping back with the damage. Disaster for Piastri, Sainz in a shambles, McLaren in the mud. You have nailed it completely. Disaster for McLaren. Yeah, McLaren in the mud. And Sainz with a big hole in the side pod. So, GG's. As Sargent now passes Sainz. Sargent in the points here. Sargent's not scored a point yet. Sargent could get a point here. The pit stops are happening now. Albon's in. Sainz is in. Is Sainz going to retire from the race? Or are they going to stick a set of mediums on? Are they going to carry on? They're battling on with Sainz. There was an argument to retire the car there, but Sainz continues in the race. We're on lap 8, and the pit stops are happening out there. Alonso gained 4 places, Tsunoda gained 6. Yeah, both of them had a great start. Oh, here we come there. Lando Norris in serious trouble here. Lando Norris tag teamed up to Leclerc. Sargent has made 2 positions. Sargent P9. Top 4 then. Yet to stop on the soft tyre. Sargent has just passed Gasly and Norris up the hill to Leclerc. Could we have 2 Williams finishing in the points at the end of this race? I wouldn't put it out of the realms of possibility. I hope Logan Sargent gets his first points in Formula 1. Here comes Verstappen then, now closing in on the back of Charles Leclerc on lap 9. Sure, you need to retire. Say, you would have thought so, innit, Chris? You would have thought so, but they're battling on at Ferrari. How long for? I don't know. But Verstappen's eyeing up Leclerc for P2 now. Up the hill they come then, up the Kemmel straight. And Verstappen's got the DRS open. Leclerc's in the middle of the road. Verstappen trying it round the outside into Leclerc. And it's a clean move. Max Verstappen then up to P2. And it's a Red Bull 1-2 on the road then. Verstappen round the outside into Leclerc of Charles Leclerc. It's Perez leads Verstappen by 2.8 seconds. Leclerc then down to 3rd. Hamilton P4, Alonso P5, Yuki Tsunoda P6. And here we go for a replay then. So he's got slipstream, DRS, and a clean move around the outside for double world champion Max Verstappen. It was close, but it was a sweet one. If you are new to the stream, guys, please do drop me a like. It really helps out the channel. And subscribe if you're enjoying it, because I'm live for every single race. So get yourself in. Get yourself on board, because we'll be back after the summer break. You better believe. Three seconds is the gap between Perez and Verstappen. That is the gap to watch now. See if that comes down. Leclerc already a second behind Verstappen. And we'll see what the race pace difference is between Leclerc and Hamilton now. Obviously, Leclerc has had a good first stint here, lap 10 out of 44. And Leclerc is 3.5 seconds ahead of Hamilton. And then we've got from Alonso to Russell, 5th to 8th. They're all in the medium. So Alonso could be in the pound seats here. I won't mind Perez winning, exactly. Me too. I wouldn't mind Perez picking up a win. Tsunoda pits then from P6. Come on, please make this a good pit stop. Come on, guys. Yeah. Okay, Tsunoda, 2.2 second pit stop. Let's go. Yuki has to get points here. You remember, Yuki's under big pressure from Daniel Ricciardo. From Yuki's point of view, he doesn't want Daniel Ricciardo turning up and beating him straight off the bat. Nah, mate. Yuki's a good driver. And he's got to get some points here today. Albon round the outside of Tsunoda then. So Tsunoda's come out of the pits on the fresh tyres and needs to get them warmed up. And not the day for McLaren as Ricciardo goes round the outside of Norris for 14th. Yeah, Super Smash, actually heading to Aston Villa right now. No worries, mate. Cheers for tuning in, even if it's only briefly. I appreciate you tuning in to the stream. So, as Norris, I don't feel like Norris has had any contact, but Norris has definitely I feel like something's got to be wrong with that McLaren, surely. He's dropping back so bad. I mean, Ted Kravitz just saying it's tyres, but I feel like the issue's got to be more than that. Not the day for McLaren, and not the day for Lando Norris, as he's down in P15 at the moment, but we've still got guys to stop. Alonso stops them, goes on to the another set of mediums. McLaren suited rain conditions, yeah. Yeah, they did. As it's dried out today, it's not really favoured them, especially with Piastri coming to blows in turn 1 as well. So Norris is just hype his average. I think he's pretty decent, but I tell you what, Piastri is putting up a hell of a good fight against Lando Norris. Lando Norris has had it easy the past couple of years. No longer. Yuki Tsunoda passes Albon for P10 then. We've got pit stops. We're in the middle of the pit stop phase, so the positions aren't really representative of the actual position at the moment. Unleash the Hulkenberg P8 yet to stop. So Hulkenberg's still out there, P8. I tell you what, Verstappen is not closing Perez down at this stage. The gap is 2.8 seconds. I'll be looking at the gap. I said about 3 laps ago, the gap was about 3 seconds. It's starting to come down now. 2.7, 2.8 is the gap between Perez and Verstappen as Alonso goes side by side with Hulkenberg for P8 into Blanchimont on lap 12, and Hulkenberg has to defend on the inside. We've got Alonso on the brand new medium tyres, remember. Hulkenberg's still out there yet to stop, so it should be an easy move for Fernando. If not at turn 1 here into La Source, then surely into Lacombe at the top of the hill. It should be an easy move for Fernando with DRS. No worries, Kim. Aston Martin surprisingly in a really good position. Yeah, you know what? Aston not looking too bad at all in this race. Yeah, Alonso's got the slipstream in DRS as they come up the Kemmel straight now on lap 12, and Alonso down the inside, and Nico Hulkenberg yet to stop, and Alonso takes P8 then. So it's Perez, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Stroll, Russell, Gasly, and now Alonso 8th. Hulkenberg 9th yet to stop. So Yuki Tsunoda P10. Tsunoda can get a top 6 out of this, can't he? No worries, Kim. This James Vowles kid on the pit wall, mate, he's too calm. You're in the middle of a race. Let's get yourself fired up, bro. The tyre strategy is the soft tyres look really unlucky. Leclerc is basically a qualifying driver. You know what? Yeah, Leclerc is generally stronger in qualifying, for sure. For sure. But then it could just be a case of Ferrari is just generally stronger in qualifying, you know? So Hamilton pits then from P4 on the road, gets a brand new shiny set of medium tyres and off the soft tyres for Hamilton. So the top three still yet to pit. Perez, Verstappen and Leclerc still out there. Lap 13 of 44 as Hamilton is going to come out more or less side by side with his teammate. Is he just ahead of Stroll? Just ahead of Stroll and Russell. Hamilton out of the pits, but Stroll's going to get the slipstream up the hill. Oh, I don't know about this, you know. This is going to be close. Stroll's got the slipstream. Hamilton's having to defend. He's weaving all over the road. Stroll's got DRS open. He goes side by side to Leclerc. Hamilton's got the inside line and just about holds on to the position on the new tyres. Lewis Hamilton, it was essential for Lewis Hamilton to keep the position there, and he has done. Hamilton keeps his P4 on the road. Verstappen is 2.4 seconds behind Perez now. So he's closing, not hand over fist, but he's closing about a tenth of a second per lap at the moment. But surely they've got a pit now. And Perez should get the preferential treatment. Perez leading the Grand Prix should be the one that pits now. If they pit Max before Perez they're not going to double stack. Perez pits then. Perez pits from the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. And Max is not happy on team radio. Perez pits. Max continues on. I think I saw sparks from the rear left tyre of Perez. And Leclerc pits then from P3. It's a good pit stop as well. Not a great pit stop for Perez in the Red Bull. 3.2 seconds. Oh, this is going to be close. It depends on Perez's outlap versus Verstappen in clean air. So Leclerc back out of the pits then. Cleanly ahead of Lewis Hamilton, 2 seconds between Leclerc and Hamilton for P3. I feel like that could be a good battle in the second half of this race. Alfa Romeo with the kick livery going on this weekend. On the back, Lando Norris is Valtteri Bottas, Ricciardo P13, Albon just about up there in the points. So top 10 is Verstappen yet to pit, Perez P2. Then we've got Leclerc, Hamilton, Stroll doing well in P5. As we see Valtteri Bottas round the outside of Lando Norris. Lando Norris has definitely got a problem with that car. Verstappen team radio and weather radar. Weather radar. Could we get some rain? Max has to pit now. This could be close. Oh, are they going to keep him out there expecting the rain? Are they going to keep him out there expecting that rain is going to come through? No, he pits. Verstappen pits from the race lead. They can't wait for rain. That's a fool's game, that. You can't wait for rain. Because what if you're out there another 10 laps, no rain? Done for. You can't sit out there waiting for rain. Oh, that's a quick stop. 2.5 second stop. Perez is going to retake the lead of the race then. So Perez back in the lead of the 2023 Belgian Grand Prix on lap 15 out of 44. And Max is now going to hunt down his prey ahead of Leclerc comfortably. He's got about a 4-second gap to Leclerc, who leads Hamilton by 2.5 seconds. Stroll is then 5.8 behind Hamilton in 5th. Russell is P6, up from P8 on the grid. And then we've got Pierre Gasly on the soft tyre, yet to stop, I feel like. Pierre Gasly in P7, Alonso 8th, Tsunoda 9th, and Albon P10. But we are on board with George Russell up to Leclerc. Russell versus Stroll at the top of the hill, and Stroll's got the inside line and keeps a position for now. But Russell looking quick and tries to switch back. Oh, he's going to go down the hill now. Is he going to try a dive bomb here? Oh, Stroll placing a car nicely then as they go through the middle sector now into No Name. And now they're going to head down to Pouon. And we have got almost nose to tail Stroll, Russell, Alonso, and Pierre Gasly. Let's go. Gasly fresh off a podium yesterday in the sprint race, looking good in the race today on the soft tyre. Great stop from Lewis in the end. Yeah, they've all had pretty good pit stops. Perez was a little bit slow, but didn't cost him big time. But the gap between the top two is 1.2 seconds. Want to know a strange fun fact that's slightly depressing? I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with no, Kim. As Alonso all over the back of Russell and takes the position. Fernando Alonso. Alonso takes Russell for P6. Russell's been robbed. Aston Martin P5, P6 on the road, lap 16 out of 44. If you are new to the stream, guys, please do drop me a like. It could really help out the channel. And get yourself subscribed. I'm trying to get to 500 before the end of the season, so you could really help a brother out. Get yourself subscribed. I'm live for every single Grand Prix from the Formula One World Championship. Always bringing the energy. Oh, Verstappen's all over the back of Perez. It's going to be done. What did we say? I predicted lap 9. All right. Lap 16. Oh, careful now. Careful now. Verstappen within 0.3 of Sergio Perez. He is right up behind his teammate now. Is he going to go for it into the bus stop chicane? I reckon. Not at a sesh all school holidays. Not even one drink. We'll have to get on it soon, Nick Kim. Oh, my God. It's going to happen now, innit? It's going to happen now, innit? Here they come into Blanchimont on lap 16. Verstappen all over the back of Sergio Perez. He can't go for it from there. No, he can't go for it from there. He's chilling. Perez keeps the lead for now. Lap 17. Here we go. Gap is 0.5 second. Yes, Ernesto. Welcome into the stream, bro. Hope you're doing good, mate. Oh, here we go. This is happening. Here comes Verstappen then with a great exit out of La Source. They're going to go up Eau Rouge, Radion, and up the Kemmel Straight. Verstappen's going to have slipstream, DRS, and the hunger to win a third world championship as he goes round the outside. Perez can do nothing about it. Verstappen leads the Belgian Grand Prix, lap 17. It takes him 17 laps to come from P6 to P1. Verstappen leads, and Perez could do nothing about that. Slipstream, DRS, job done. Verstappen leads. And Russell eyeing up Stroll. Stroll tries to defend on the inside. Oh, and Russell goes round the outside. just about takes the position. Russell up to P6 then. So Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc top 3. Hamilton 2.9 behind Leclerc. That's an interesting battle, Leclerc and Hamilton for 3rd at the final podium spot. I feel like we've got a Red Bull 1-2 written all over this. But the battle for 3rd could be interesting between Leclerc and Hamilton as we go on board for a replay of the race, of the overtake for the race lead on lap 17. Verstappen around the outside. Yo, Matty, welcome in. You might have been here from the beginning, but welcome in to the live chat, Matty. Verstappen's already got Perez by 1.5 seconds, but I'd be looking to see Lewis close up on Charles Leclerc, but Leclerc's race pace is strong, you know. Leclerc's race pace is strong. 3.2 seconds is the gap between Leclerc and Hamilton for 4th. And all the close battles going on in this race is between the Aston Martins and the Mercedes of George Russell. Are they going to... Oh, it's going to be rain. Rain's coming. Rain is on the horizon. Let's go. Mate, rain is coming. Rain. We could do with a little shower. Oh, the ponchos are going on in the stands. Let's go. Oh, here we go. We're going to get a rain shower, baby. We're going to get a rain shower. We're going to get a rain shower. And I'm fully up for it. The approaching rain. They're so calm. They're so calm. Ted Kravitz, the approaching rain. I'm sat here. Let's have a rain shower. Oh, the fans are putting on the emergency ponchos. It's just what I wanted to hear. Woohoo, baby. Rain in turn 15. Let's go. Rain in turn 15. We just want a sprinkling of rain. It's been raining here for ages. Yeah, but you haven't got a Grand Prix round your ends, have you, Kim? So it doesn't matter. Oh, we have got a bit of rain here. Look, it's getting a little bit damp. Oh, it's going to mix it up, baby. Oh, it's going to mix it up now. I mean, do you gamble on the Inter now, early, and burn it up for a lap? I burn up the Inter for a lap and then be on... You know what I mean? There's got to be an argument for burning up an Inter for a lap and then being in the pound seats when everybody else pits. But you're relying on the rain coming down heavy, you know what I mean? Seeing Maxime Moose like seeing Senna McLaren Hamilton. Yeah, man. Like seeing Schumacher in a Ferrari, innit? No one's pitted yet. No one's gambled the early pit stop yet, but it's starting to look a bit sketchy in the final sector. Sector 1 looks dry. I don't think rain's hit. Okay, rain lasting for 10 minutes. So say the Ferrari pit wall. So Verstappen leads Perez by 3 seconds. Oh, here we go then. We have got Pierre Gasly round the outside of Lance Stroll for 7th. This is a strong weekend for Pierre Gasly, no? Pierre Gasly! Let's go! Pierre up to P7. As the rain closes in on Spa-Francorchamps. There's only one way to say his name, Kim. You know, it ain't way there. You know what I mean? They want to avoid a double stop. What do you mean? What do you mean going inters and then back to slicks? What's they going to try and stay on slicks? You can't try and... Oh, the arms are out. That's how you know. They've got all these millions of dollars of radar, weather radar, but nothing beats sticking your arm out of the pit into the pit lane and going, is there any rain coming down? You can have all your weather radars you want. No one's risking a set of inters yet. It's still. Woo! They're just happy slip sliding around. Do you remember Monaco when we had a bit of rain? I was sat here going slip sliding. I was singing for about 5 laps. Slip sliding around. I love it. Oh, look at this. Stroll struggling. Stroll struggles. And Tsunoda P8. Tsunoda passes Stroll up to Leclerc. Woo. Verstappen leads Perez by 3.6 seconds. Leclerc in P3, 5.5 seconds off. Perez, Hamilton 3.6 behind Leclerc. All the battles in the midfield now. Stroll struggling, pretends to be shocked. Yeah. If you are new to the stream, guys, get yourself subscribed. This is the kind of energy we bring to every race. So get yourself in. Get yourself in for the ride, because we have a bit of fun round here. Norris could gamble the inters. Someone's got to gamble the inters now, surely. It's looking a bit slippy in the final sector. It looks pretty dry in sector 1, but sector 3, now they're in the Fania chicane, and it's looking a little bit twitchy. You know what I mean? And it's raining quite a lot, says Verstappen on team radio. Who's first in for inters here? Jensen Button? Who's in for Aston Martin? Nowhere Aston Martin going to a fresh set of soft tyres. They're going for the big brain move. What? Oh, Stroll's pitting for a brand new set of soft tyres. What the hell? Okay, I back it. It's bold. It's a bold move, Cotton. It's a bold move, but I'll back it, you know. They've slapped Stroll onto a brand new shiny set of soft tyres and said, go for it, son. You've got more grip than anybody. And see, the rain is not that hard to warrant switching on to the inters yet. Although we're going to see a replay with Max Verstappen up a Rouge. Ooh, a little bit of a moment. Oh, Verstappen with the moment going up a Rouge. Oh. Verstappen with a snap of oversteer. Careful, guys. It's not quite intermediates yet, but it's getting dicey, you know? It's getting dicey. It's not, I feel like the rain in the middle sector. The rain is coming down. I think we're not far away from inters here, surely. And Stroll, the thing is, if everyone goes to inters, Stroll's lost out badly. Lance Stroll could be fuming here. This is either going to work out like a peach or be a disaster for Stroll, this. Nah, I feel like you've got to intermediate it soon. I feel like inters are on the way here, surely. Ricciardo and Bottas fighting for 12th. Stroll doing a sprint qualifying, risking it. Yeah, man. I mean, they've been bold. Ted Kravitz saying the rain's easing up in the pit lane as Sargent defends from Norris in 16th. Not the day for McLaren, is it? Sargent v Norris for 16th is not the battle I thought I'd be seeing today. But that's the battle we're getting. As Bottas goes round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. Bottas up to 12th. Daniel Ricciardo down to 13th. We ride on board with Lando Norris up to Leclerc. But it is Verstappen leading Perez by 5.5 seconds. Hamilton and Leclerc are still, regardless of track conditions, are still 3 seconds apart. As Norris tries round the outside, as Sargent, woo, bold one, wheel to wheel, into No Name, and Norris has got the grip. Woo. Nice move from Lando Norris, albeit for 16th and nothing. Stroll in the wall again. Nah, JJ's chilling. But welcome to the stream. Hey, I'll tell you what. Stroll hits the wall, mate. Twice in 2 days. Embarrassing one. Nah, I don't know. It's either going to work out a dream ticket for Stroll or it's going to be P20. There's no real in between for Lance Stroll. Right, Russell's in the pits. Now, what are they doing with this? Russell pits. Are they going to put the Inters on? They're putting slicks on it. They're putting fresh set of soft tyres on Russell's Mercedes as well. So they're not back in the intermediate yet. It's not wet enough for the Inters until someone spins off. And then they'll go, yeah, do you know what? I fancy Inters. Yes, Aways. Welcome in, bro. To a damp Belgian Grand Prix as Yuki Tsunoda takes Gasly for 6th. Oh, nice move. Tsunoda's looking good, you know. Tsunoda's rapid. Tsunoda looking rapid out here. What is the running order here? We've got Verstappen leads Perez by 5.5. Hamilton closing in on Leclerc now. 2.2 seconds is the gap for P3. Russell's all over the back of Sargent for 15th. But so we've got Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton. Alonso's still up there, P5. Tsunoda 6th. Gasly 7th. Then we've got Albon, Ocon, Magnussen in the top 10 at the moment in the Haas. Why did they lose? Doesn't matter to me. Oh, Norris round the outside of Zhou. Norris looking quick in these damp conditions. What? Sargent struggling and Russell. I tell you what, we've had our fair share of overtakes. I tell you what. We've had our fair share of overtakes in the midfield as Russell passes Sargent for 15th. Guys, if you're new to the stream, please do drop me a like. It could seriously change the fate of my channel. I appreciate you all in the stream right now. And if one or two of you subscribe, if you're new, we're on the path to 500. 500 before the end of the season. Let's go. Lap 24 of 44 and Gasly pits. Oh, that's close that's close for an unsafe release on Albon, but he's just about got away with it. And no, are they on the Inters? Oh, they're on the dries. They're on slicks. No one's on an intermediate yet then. So they're just battling through this rain shower and hoping to come out of the other side of it with a fresh set of slick tyres. Yeah, no one's back in the intermediate tyre. Lap 24 of 44. Gap between Leclerc and Hamilton, 2.4 seconds. That's the gap I'm watching for the final spot on the podium. Sainz should lose his seat. Sainz isn't all that, is he? You know, I'd love to see Albon in a Ferrari or an Aston Martin. Yeah, Sainz isn't the guy, is he? You've got to think of it. Ferrari have got to look at it. Can we win a world championship with Carlos Sainz? I don't believe you can, you know. He's a good driver, but is he a great driver? I'd like to see Albon in a Ferrari, I can't lie. Hamilton to replace him? Yeah. Yeah, I back it. I'm up for a bit of drama. Yeah, Hamilton to Ferrari, let's go. No chance, but I'd love to see it. I would love to see that, but we've got no chance. Hulkenberg pits then from P10, and now Russell is all over the back of Norris for 9th. Norris has come alive in these mixed conditions, you know. Norris has come alive. Yeah, Sainz is out of the race. I didn't even say that. As I was talking about Sainz, as Fries said, Sainz should lose his seat. I was just watching Sainz retire and didn't even mention it. Yeah, Sainz is out of the race. So Piastri and Sainz are the only retirements. As Russell goes round the outside of Norris, heading up the Kemmel Straight. And Russell then up to P8. Magnussen's still out there in P7 in the Haas. Russell looking quick in the Mercedes. Wow, there's a lot of overtaking going on here. I think this is Ricciardo v Hulkenberg for 16th. So Verstappen leads Perez by 6.8 seconds, who leads Leclerc by 7.1. Gap between Leclerc and Hamilton now 7.8. It's opened up a little bit. It was as low as 2.2. Easy on Sainz. Listen, I'm in no position to criticise the best drivers in the world. But is Sainz World Championship material? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. I'm not convinced. Is he a decent driver? Of course. But is he star driver? Like, you know, main character? No. Stroll all over the back of Magnussen pit. So Stroll was battling Magnussen. Magnussen dives into the pits and that promotes everyone up a place. So the running order now with Ocon and Magnussen in the pits is Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, Alonso, Russell, Norris P7 then. So Norris dropped back massively in the first stint, has come forward again in the second stint, and he's back to where he started. Stroll P8, Tsunoda P9, and Albon currently in P10. But a great race, especially in the midfield. Lap 26 of 44. So we're over half race distance now. And it's brightening up. I feel like the rain shower is done and dusted. So the team's got it right. Inter's wasn't the way to go. It was just a little shower. They braved it out on the slicks and got away with it. Everybody got away with it. Max with a little snap of oversteer in Eau Rouge was as hairy, scary as it got. Top 3 flying. It's Leclerc opening up the gap on Hamilton. Yeah, 3.4. Yeah, you see, I'm interested in this battle for the podium between Leclerc and Hamilton. I don't think that's done for. But at the moment, Leclerc looking slightly quicker than Lewis. Ferrari's race pace is good. And, yeah, 3.4, 3.5. So now we're back into normal dry conditions. Leclerc is slightly faster than Hamilton. Still in PJs doing rain dance. Absolutely. Rain dance, whatever the outfit. Get your rain dance going, Kim, because it's dried up again. The sun's come out. It was interesting with a sprinkling of rain. You just never know, do you, with a sprinkling of rain? But no, it's dried up now. Sun's out, buns out. And we are looking at Pierre Gasly on the back of Alexander Albon for the final points, paying position in the Grand Prix. The battle for P10 is on. Verstappen putting his foot down. Yeah, 8 seconds is the gap. Verstappen is throwing a massive surprise at us here by being rapid. Who'd have believed it? Who'd have believed that Verstappen was going to romp away at the front? Not me. Lewis pits. Okay, so Hamilton pits for a set of soft tyres. You're not going to do quick maths 38. What's that? About 16 laps on the soft tyres? Really? 38, 16 laps on the softs. He can do it. So Lewis is going for a... Well, I suppose he was dropping off the back of Leclerc. Like I was saying, the gap was opening up on Leclerc. It means he's been jumped by Alonso, but he's only 3 seconds behind Alonso. So in theory, he should cruise up on the back of the Aston Martin and pass it pretty quickly. I was hoping someone else on the podium instead of the usual Max. Yeah, well, you know, I feel like Leclerc and Hamilton battling for the podium is still hotly contested. Mercedes going with the alternate strat, sticking Lewis on a brand new set of softs now is an interesting one. We're on board with Pierre Gasly hunting down Alexander Albon. I can't believe Norris is in the points right now. Thanks for banning that spam, whoever did that. Big ups. Same here, it's raining on the hills. Send the rain over here, Kim. Send the rain down to Spa-Francorchamps. No probs. Cheers. Verstappen, yeah. I was hoping someone else. Yeah. So Leclerc pits then from P3 and matches Hamilton. So Verstappen covering off Hamilton then. Sorry, did I say Verstappen? Leclerc covering off Hamilton. And Hamilton now right behind Alonso. And Leclerc's going to be released into this fight. And Hamilton down the inside then as the exit La Source. Hamilton takes Alonso and now has to hunt down Charles Leclerc. That gap has come down a lot with Hamilton being quick on the brand new soft tyres, and Ferrari had to cover Hamilton off. Alonso's got the slipstream as they head up to Leclerc. As Leclerc weaves to try and warm up his tyres, the battle for this podium is on. Lap 29 or 44. Big ups to the new subscribers today. Big ups. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream today. It's been a difficult few months, but I appreciate each and every single one of you in the stream today. And I hope you join me after the summer break when we get to Zandvoort, Monza, and forevermore. Nah, honestly, big ups. I feel like Hamilton is going to be quicker than Leclerc here. 1.6 seconds is the gap. As Perez pits from P2. Yeah, blow your kiss. Never know. Could have done. Perez in the pits then stops and is given a brand new set of soft tyres on the Red Bull. Does Verstappen react to that? We've got 14 and a half laps to go in the Belgian Grand Prix. Verstappen now leads by a scary 27 seconds with Perez having taken that pit stop. And Leclerc 1.9 ahead of Hamilton as Alonso pits then from P5. And gets a set of soft tyres then. So this seems to be the strategy for the final stint. Stick a set of soft tyres on it. And this is going to be close between Alonso and Russell. Alonso comes out of the pits and keeps P5. And yeah, Norris looking quick in P7. Norris has had such a strange race. A first stint where he was getting swamped and overtaken by everybody. Then a little bit of a rain shower. Norris rapid, gets all the positions back that he lost, and he's now back in P7 where he started the race from an hour ago. So Norris lost out massively and then gained it all back. Maybe he hasn't got damage. Maybe it was just the tyres in the first stint. As Verstappen pits then from the lead. Watch him not put a wheel on right or something. Watch him not put a wheel on right. It's a perfect pit stop. Perfect pit stop. Called it every day. 2.3 seconds. Oh, man, he's playing F1 in easy mode out here. So what's the gap then? Gap is 9 seconds. Verstappen leads Perez by 9 seconds. Gap between Leclerc and Hamilton, which I've been monitoring since the very beginning, 2.4. They're evenly matched, aren't they? The Ferrari and Mercedes here in race trim seem pretty evenly matched. Leclerc seems to open the gap by a couple of tenths, and Lewis closes it a couple of tenths, and it's a bit of a stalemate for P3, and Leclerc could be more than happy to get a podium out of this, I'm sure. A wheel not on properly. It was just a prediction, Kim. I was sort of preempting it, but it didn't happen. It was a perfect pit stop. It just would have made it a little bit more interesting if they didn't put the wheel on properly, that's all I'm saying. We're on board with Gasly, and he's still hunting down Albon, but Albon tries it round the outside of Ocon, but can't get the move done. So it's going to be both Alpines sandwiching Alexander Albon, all fighting for the final point of the race. A calamity. Yeah. It would be, yeah. It'd be quite fun though if it happened. Fell asleep. That's what the drink does to you next day. You fell asleep. That doesn't promote the channel very well, does it, Anto? I'm trying to keep you awake here. You're not doing me any favours there, Anto, that you fell asleep. Come on, mate. Perk yourself up. We're on lap 32. It's been a good race, this. I've certainly not been falling asleep. It's been a good race. I mean, yeah, we got Verstappen out front by 10 seconds, but that's par for the course in 2023. You can't really do anything about that, but from second down, it's been a cracker. As is the form book. Oh, Gasly looking close behind Albon. Verstappen team radio. Verstappen being told he used a lot of his tyre on the outlap and gets no reply. Verstappen ghosting the Red Bull pit wall. Fell asleep during too early football watch-alongs. Oh, you took a sleeping pills? It's calm then, isn't it? I can't do anything about that. I can't keep you awake under medication. You know what I mean? I'll bring the enthusiasm, but if you've taken sleeping pills, it's going to be a difficult one. Unless it's like the start of the race and I'm giving it Verstappen down the inside, then I'll keep you awake. But Gasly all over the back of Albon now for P11. Come on, Lewis. What's the gap? 1.8. Come on, Lewis. I agree. I concur. Let's go. Hamilton can get a podium here. 1.7 is the gap. Verstappen fastest lap. Verstappen leads Perez 11.6 seconds as Gasly lines up Albon in the middle sector through the Fania chicane, and they're side by side. Wow, that's an unusual place to try and overtake into Stabilo. Albon on the inside, Gasly trying it round the outside of the Williams, and Gasly with a little bit of oversteer and a little bit of Tokyo drift gets the move done. Pierre Gasly. What a move into P11 for no points whatsoever. Wow. I tell you what, though. On a reel, at Spa-Francorchamps, you don't get many overtakes in the middle sector. In the middle sector. Only wanting to get third, so our race predictions right. Oh, what did you say? Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, top 3. I didn't even do a pre-race prediction. I'd have probably gone something like... I'd have probably gone... Albon, Tsunoda... Sargent, top 3. Sargent was making great ground. Sargent was having a good race first half, but he's dropped off. Look at this. Albon gets the position. Oh, the side by side. Whew. Albon with the slipstream and the DRS. I thought he'd got the job done on the Alpine, but Gasly defends it well. And we've got great, again, with 2023. We know who's out front. We need to watch everybody else because it's great racing this year. From second down, it's fantastic. Look at this for a replay on board with this overtake. So they go side by side through the Spanish chicane into the first part of Stavilo, and Gasly round the outside of Albon. What a move it was. If you're an Aston and Alonso, you definitely take this result after a terrible day yesterday. Yeah, Alonso P5. Alonso obviously been struggling the last few races. Aston Martin's pace dropped off a little bit, but his best result for a few races, I feel like this can be for Fernando Alonso. Completely agree. You need to watch the battle for the losers. Yeah. Battle of the losers. These are the best racing drivers in the world. Man said battle of the losers. Mate. These are the finest race drivers in the world. How dare you? How very dare you? But yeah, I mean, if you want to be brutal about it, battleofthefirstloser.com. But it's been a good season, mate, with that regard. Leclerc and Hamilton gap is still 2 seconds. It's a stalemate out there. Albon pits. Lap 34 or 44. So if you're really good at maths, that's 10 laps to go. It's more of a battle of the engineers. F1's always been a little bit like that, though. F1's always been a little bit like battle of the engineers. At its core, it is an engineering exercise, really. And then once you've engineered the best car you can, you try and employ the best drivers you can to put in it. But really, it is an engineering competition at the end of the day. And if you get that combination right, where you've engineered a rocket ship and you put in the best driver in the world, you're going to get this Red Bull RB19 with Max Verstappen at the wheel, where you're just winning everything. But yeah, first and foremost, it's an engineering competition, yeah. As nerdy and geeky as that sounds. Verstappen leads Perez by 13 seconds with 9 laps to go. Leclerc and Hamilton still 2 seconds. Come on, Lewis. Exactly, Verstappen. Verstappen just chilling out front as we cut to Ocon versus Tsunoda for P9. I think Ocon will get Tsunoda a 2023 season review. Battle of the first loser. That would be the title. Listen, Ocon's going to have slipstream and DRS here. If I was Tsunoda now, you got to defend the inside now. Defend the inside now. Yes. Send him around the outside. Yeah, keeps the position. Let's go, Yuki. Yuki keeps the P9 for now, but I feel like it's a matter of time. Come on, Norris, push that MCL 60. Norris has had such a bizarre race, Alvin. And I appreciate you joining the stream, getting involved in live chat. Norris has had such a bizarre one because he's dropped all the way back and then there was a little sprinkling of rain for 10 minutes and then he come all the way back to where he started from. Yeah, Norris has had feast and famine today and everything in between. A really strange race. In fact, Norris was dropping back that much in the first stint. I was like, he's got to have damage with the car. I was convinced there was a problem with that McLaren. Maybe it's just a set of tyres he was on. Because in the middle stint, Norris has been rapid and gained back everything that he lost. But he's on for a few points. It's not a spectacular race from Lando, but he's going to get a few points out of it. Yeah. Unlike a teammate Oscar Piastri, who got pinched in turn 1, lap 1 by Sainz. On that collision between Sainz and Piastri, I just think Sainz didn't know he was there. Sainz has locked the front wheels into turn 1, gone to the inside, I feel like, to avoid hitting the back of Hamilton, dives to the inside, doesn't realise Oscar's already going for the inside on him, and they just come together and Piastri just gets pinched between Sainz and the wall. It's a shame because Oscar could have really done something. Oscar could have been on the podium here today. But it is what it is. It will live to fight another day after the summer break. This is a big opposite vibes between Aston Martin and McLaren. Previous race with McLaren on the podium. Aston Martin struggled. Here Aston Martin looks surprisingly better. McLaren in the mud, yeah. McLaren have had a rocky day. And fortunes have been switched around this weekend. Well, today. Because Aston Martin they've not scored a hell of a lot of points over the last 3 or 4 races, have they, Aston Martin? But Alonso looking to get a big chunk today. Solid in P5. Russell 1.8 seconds behind the Aston Martin. 2.7 is the gap between Leclerc and Hamilton. I feel like Leclerc has got that P3 nailed down now. Missing Kimi team radio, yeah. Gloves and steering wheel now. Yeah, the sport does kind of miss Kimi for a different angle of a different angle of it all. He didn't give a damn, did he? We are on board with Daniel Ricciardo in P15 in the AlphaTauri. I wonder what AlphaTauri will be called next season. Do you reckon AlphaTauri will just go back to being called Toro Rosso for next year? I reckon. Abu Dhabi 2012 was the best one. Leave me alone, know what I'm doing. Yeah. Kimi was ruthless on team radio. Didn't give a damn. Up the Kemmel straight then, on board helmet cam with Daniel Ricciardo. He's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS on Nico Hülkenberg ahead, but he's not going to be close enough to make the move. And he's also under pressure from Zhou Guanyu behind in P16. It's not worked out well for Williams, this, has it? How come Albon's down in... Why are Albon and Sargent 17th and 18th? I was fancying Albon to get some points out of this. It's not worked out at all. Anyone wonder what Seb could have done in this new what? Oh, in this new Red Bull Monster. You've only got to beat your teammate to win the championship here in this Red Bull. You've only got one driver as your competition if you're driving this Red Bull this season. So beat your teammate, you're chilling. And Verstappen's beating his teammate, I reckon. Yeah, Verstappen leads by 15 seconds. Leclerc and Hamilton still separated 2.5 seconds. Stalemate. Leclerc's got this podium on lockdown. Verstappen team radio. Verstappen complaining about the wind. Better than Perez, that's for sure. Yeah. Just a tad. AlphaTauri needed points. Come on, Yuki. Yeah. AlphaTauri do need points. And I do rate the Daniel Ricciardo comeback, but oh my God, Ocon's pulled a move. Ocon has pulled a move on Tsunoda there. Wow. That's probably overtaken a race. Ocon has pulled off a robbery on Yuki Tsunoda at Lecumbe. We need a replay of this. I was waffling about Daniel Ricciardo's comeback, and I've just seen a mega move from Esteban Ocon. He's hung it out around the outside and turns into the inside for the second part of Lecumbe. What a move from Esteban Ocon. Then up into P9 is the Alpine. What a move. Ocon, that's evil, bro. Big ups to anyone new who's watching the stream today. It's amazing that you found me, and big ups. Get yourself subscribed if you are enjoying the stream. I'm live for every single Grand Prix. So roll on Zandvoort after summer break. Join the fun. Let's go. Get yourself in. I'm trying to get to 500 subs before the end of the season, so you could really help me out and sort of speed that up a little bit right now. But it's been a good race, this. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. Yeah, Max was always going to win. He could start in the pit lane and give him all half a lap advantage, and he's still going to win the race. We know that. But the battle in the midfield, as has been the case all throughout the entire season, the battle in the midfield's been brilliant. And there's been a hell of a... I wouldn't be surprised if there's been more overtakes today than in any race so far this year. As Zhou Guanyu passes Ricciardo for 15th. 5 laps to go in the 2023 Belgian Grand Prix. How long's the break? 4 weeks? Something like that. 4th table, Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, Lewis is 4th in the race. I was thinking that Lewis could get a podium out of this, but as we see a replay of Zhou Guanyu with the slipstream, with the DRS, gets the move done into Lecumbe on Daniel Ricciardo. So top 10 then with 4.5 laps to go is Verstappen leading Perez by 17 seconds. Leclerc's 3rd. Decent race pace. He'd been able to keep Hamilton at bay the entire Grand Prix. Hamilton then P4. Alonso has had a solid race from P5. Where did he qualify, Alonso? So Alonso's up from P9 to P5. So a good race from Alonso. George Russell up from 8th to 6th. Norris is back where he started after a roller coaster of a race. As we go on board with Alexander Albon, trying round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo for 16th. Just end the season, 27th of August, so virtually a month, Kim, virtually a month till the next race. Just end the season here. Now we're going to have a great second half of the season. We're going to have a great second half of the season, Chris. Albon will take him for sure. He's already got it done. Yeah, live track. Welcome into the stream, mate. But yeah, Albon, I'm a bit gutted that Albon's not got any points out of this, because in that first stint, Albon was looking really good, and it's whether it's strategy or what, it's ended up where Albon and Sargent have been put at the back again and are having to fight their way through a little bit. Yeah, it is a shame that Albon's probably not going to get any points out of this, but he is all over the back of Nico Hülkenberg. He's making moves. 3 laps to go. Give Max credit, of course. It's not his fault. Everyone is in the... Yeah, that's it. You've got to give Max credit for this season. You know, like I was saying before the race started, this season, whilst it won't go down in history as the closest season, probably not, not the closest season ever. But it will go down in history in terms of probably be the most dominant season. You know, it'll be a record-breaking season in terms of most race wins in a season, most wins in a row. You know, all this domination stats will be absolutely blown out of the water this season. So you've got to admire it. As Albon goes round the outside of Hulkenberg at Blanchimont on lap 41. That's a brave one from Alex. Up to P15. That's a lot of... Whew. How many Max won this season? Yeah, 9. This will be 10 out of 12. This will be 10 out of 12. And 7 or 8 in a row. It's brutal. Well, this is round 12, isn't it? Because China got cancelled and Imola I don't count. They never even raced at Imola. So this is the 12th race. This will be the 10th win, surely. 8. Perez only won 2. 8 in a row. Next season will be Hamilton's season. I hope we get a championship battle in 2024. Yeah, that is the one thing I'm praying for. Championship battle in 2024 is needed. Even I don't care who it is. If it's McLaren coming on strong, bring it on. Mercedes, Ferrari, somebody challenge that Red Bull next year, please. Ocon passes Stroll for 8th. So it's Verstappen leading Perez by 20 seconds. Leclerc still ahead of Hamilton. 2.6 is the gap with 2.5 laps to go. Cut to Zhou Guan Yu versus Kevin Magnussen for 13th. Ferrari always look a work in progress. That's the problem. You wish, I do wish. I do wish. Yeah. Genie, give me 3 wishes. All 3 wishes are championship battle for next season. All 3 wishes. I'll waste them all. That is what I'm wishing for. Glad you know F1. Not how many races Max has won and you don't know for sure. I know everything. Surely this would be Max's 10th win, no? It's the 12th race. He's won all but 2 of them. Quick maths. What is Lewis doing? Oh, they're doing this fastest lap thing. No, cheers, Net Kiosk. Cheers for joining the stream. Obviously, a lot of new people in today, so I appreciate you all. And you know, compliment or criticism, I'll take it all on board. We can only get better. Well, if it's constructive criticism, you just say going, this guy's a knobhead, then yeah. But if it's constructive criticism, listen, I take it all on board. You know, obviously, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not going to know everything, but I've been watching for 17 years, so I know a little bit here and there. Oh, look at this. Albon on a late charge, but it's not going to be good enough for points, but it's good enough for entertainment. Oh, he's had to come out of the throttle and then dive down the inside into the bus stop chicane. Well, they don't even call it the bus stop chicane anymore, but Albon up into P14. Max maybe take it from Ham. Yeah, Hamilton going for fastest lap. So he's given up on the battle with Leclerc, which is a bit upsetting, but it is what it is. Yeah, welcome in. Exactly, Kim. Welcome in, everyone. Constructive criticism. How many races have Max won? 45, including today. 10 this season, including today, right? Not including sprint races. Including sprint races, you look at 12, 13, isn't it? But Because Perez won 2. I'm tripping. But then people in the comments going 8. I'm thinking 8, but this is the 12th race. Now for the Blue Peter badge. First win, Spain 2016. Too good. You need to bring me harder questions, brother. You're gonna drop me questions like that. I'm gonna bat them away. Well done. As if I've not watched every single qualifying and every single race for the past 2 decades. Oh, here we go. Lap 44 out of 44. Most overtakes you can think. What, when did you... Oh, Brazil 2016. I remember Brazil 2016 being a good one. But anyway, we're on the final lap. Max Verstappen's cruised another one. He's cruised another one. Yeah, great stuff. I can't believe it. Hello to South Africa from Scotland. Oh yeah, Nathan Booley, welcome into the stream, bro. Watching in South Africa. Never done this before. Very good. Keep it up. Cheers, bro. Thanks for no worries. As Max Verstappen comes out of the final corner, and a little bit of oversteer just to take the piss, a little bit of a Tokyo drift out of the final corner, and Verstappen wins easily in the end by 22.5 seconds. The 2023 Belgian Grand Prix. Perez is going to follow him home for a Red Bull 1-2. An important result, as David Croft says, an important result for Sergio Perez. It's a Red Bull 1-2 in Belgium, and Leclerc is going to easily, in the end, with Hamilton going for the fastest lap scenario, Leclerc is going to get the podium finish. So it's Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, top 3, and the battle rages on in the middle sector between Norris and Ocon for P7. Hamilton coming out of the final chicane then to finish P4. So it's Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc on the podium. Hamilton 4th and gets the fastest lap. So Hamilton will get 25, 18, 50, 12. Hamilton will get 13 points from this weekend. Alonso will finish P5 in the Aston Martin. His best result for a few races. George Russell P6. Lando Norris will hang on to P7 where he started from. Ocon will finish P8 in the Alpine, Lance Stroll P9, and Yuki Tsunoda will get the final point in P10. Glad it's summer break. Max already parked up. That's how bad it is. Yeah. Max has parked up, celebrating, and these guys are still battling in the middle sector for P9. GG's. Guys, get yourself subscribed. I'm trying to get to 500 subs before the end of the season. Get yourself subscribed before you leave, and do drop me a like as well. It really helps me out. And we'll be back for Zandvoort, because 8 in a row. That's where the confusion was. It's 8 in a row. 8 in a row for Verstappen, 10 overall this season. And I think he sits 3rd in the all-time wins now. No, 4th. So you've got Hamilton 103, Schumacher 91, Prost, and Vettel only. So he's coming up behind Prost and Vettel is Verstappen in the all-time wins. Cheers there, Nathan Booley. Appreciate you. Appreciate it, bro. 420. It was 420. We don't do any 420 around here. Fingers crossed Perez wins and in the next and preserves the record. Yeah. The thing is, low key, we kind of hoping the Red Bull do win every race now, it'll be as refreshing as it will be when Red Bull are beaten. It'll almost be a little bit disappointing, because it's like, the invincible record's gone. Like, from this point on, Red Bull may as well win every single race. Like, as thrilling and as refreshing it will be if Leclerc gets a win, or Hamilton gets a win, or Norris gets a win, or Piastri, let's go. As refreshing it will be, or Alonso, to whoever breaks that Red Bull thing, there'll be a little bit of the invincible season was on. No one's ever done an invincible season. Even McLaren 88 lost a race. I don't know who to. But even the McLaren in 88 didn't win every single race. Red Bull are on for an invincible season. It's like Arsenal 2004 round here. Yeah, cheers, Live Track. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate all the new people in the stream this afternoon. Big ups to you all. Thank you for those of you that have subscribed and are going to join me after the summer break. Get to Zandvoort, have a bit of fun. Over 100 and smash the like button, yeah. Get on the likes. Max will win in a soapbox wearing clogs. Now that I would like to see that, yeah. Net kiosk. Yeah, I back that. Max in a soapbox for the rest of the season. Flintstone mode. Pedaling with his legs. Still picking up podiums. Still picking up points. Pedaling with his legs. You know what I mean? Still snagging top tens. I mean, it is what it is this season. You know, it's like I saw the results from the 2002 Michael Schumacher season. It is very similar, you know. But yeah, big ups to everyone that joined the stream today. Obviously, we got a few more in than normal, and that is massively appreciated. Big ups to anyone that subscribed and dropped a like. I'll be back. If there's any like big breaking news during summer break and I'm not at work, I'll do a stream for that, you know. Yeah, big breaking news, stuff like that. Like when Ricciardo replaced De Vries, I was straight on it. Yeah, any big breaking news like that, I'll be on. But if not, it'll be in about 4 weeks. Summer break settings. But I'll be back for the Dutch Grand Prix. And then we get into the final third of the season, and we just got to enjoy it, you know. Max is way out front, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy the races. From 2nd to 20th, it's anybody's game. So, yeah, we just got to enjoy it for what it is. You're a failure if you want to join Ferrari. Piastri to Ferrari next season. Nah, Ferrari... McLaren's a better place to be than Ferrari, isn't it, right now? 10 remaining... Yeah, exactly. 10 races remaining, we'll get through this, absolutely. And the Dutch players, yeah, wearing clogs in an F1 car. Oh, yeah, you'd hear him coming down the Kemmel Straight, wouldn't you? Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. Max would win riding a horse. Again, I'd love to see it. That's deep. Deep round here, mate. It's deep. We go deep. Battle of the losers, let's go. That'll be the title of the stream. I believe that Ferraris will do better after the summer break. Fingers crossed, toes crossed. Yeah, any competition to Red Bull is obviously welcomed. Cheers, Kim. Thanks for being in. 4:30. We've taken a little bit of a leap today, so big ups to everyone. Yeah, I agree with Live Track. Piastri is definitely a future star, definitely, without a doubt. Better at pit stops. What? Yeah, Piastri definitely a future star. I'd be interested to see McLaren's pace second half of the season. Obviously, it wasn't their day today, but yeah. Cheers, Rhino. Cheers for being in. Congrats on the jump. Yeah. I appreciate you, bro. Because you know it, Rhino. You've been here for a while. Yeah, it's been a good stream. It's been a good stream. Piastri had contact with Sainz in turn 1 on the very, very first lap. Sainz locked his front wheels. So as they're going into La Source, Sainz locked his front wheels. Hamilton was dead ahead of him. He sort of avoided Hamilton, went to the inside, but Piastri was already coming down the inside. So Sainz and Piastri come together there at the apex. Obviously, it's a hairpin La Source. So Piastri got pinched between Sainz and the pit wall and didn't end well. So Piastri either got, I don't know if Piastri got suspension damage or puncture or... I would assume he got some broken suspension, something like that. So, yeah, Piastri was out of the race immediately. Sainz limped on for perhaps about half of the race. Sainz limped on with a big hole in his side pod and, you know, a big chunk of damage. Obviously dropped off the pace, was being overtaken by everyone and his dog, and then eventually retired from the race about halfway through. But yeah, Max cruised it. Well, in fact, Max come through from P6. He was soon up to 4th, and then Lewis kept him behind for a little bit. And then, but once Max was past Lewis and up into 3rd, he was soon up into 2nd, hunted down Perez, which took a full stint. I think it was about lap 17 by the time Verstappen took the lead. I was predicting lap 9. So, but yeah, latest JJ. Thanks everyone for joining the stream. Yeah, man, I appreciate you, Chris. I appreciate you. Obviously, it's been a good stream, and hopefully, this is a sign of things to come now. You know. And we start moving forward. The channel starts moving forward a little bit. But I appreciate every single one of you that's been in the stream today. It's been a fun race, you know. Obviously, it's not the greatest season in the world. We know that. But 2024 will be. But yeah, join me for the Dutch Grand Prix in a couple of weeks. Max Verstappen wins the Belgian Grand Prix from Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, Alonso, Russell, Norris, Ocon, Stroll, Tsunoda rounds out the top 10. I'll be back in 4 weeks' time, unless there's any big breaking news over the summer break. But peace out, guys. Appreciate you all. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the extra subs today. And yeah, join me in a few weeks. Peace out, guys. Cheers.